I want to just want to extend my best wishes for the success of this organization, this institution, this council, and for the greater success in the future, so that it can contribute is working as the think tanks of the country and working with other countries' think tanks and other such organizations which are working in the field of international relations and international affairs. Everybody knows that we are in a very peculiar type of situation. We are in a strange situation. We have promulgated a new constitution, democratic constitution, and we have through this work, through this task, or by the promulgation of the constitution, we have completed a mainly transitional phase, and we have entered in a new phase. Now we have to implement the constitution and go ahead. I want to just mention a few words that the Constituent Assembly was formed with a very democratic procedure, democratic idea, the participation of the people, inclusiveness, participatory composition of the Constituent Assembly was with proportional representation, and it was elected by the people. So it was completely a democratic institution. And the process of constitution making and promulgation was very democratic. There is, to some extent, misunderstanding that some people say, all of a sudden constitution came. First Constituent Assembly was failed. The term of the first Constituent Assembly was for 2 years. The time was extended again and again, and it worked for 4 years, but unfortunately it failed without giving the constitution. And second, another Constituent Assembly election took place, and that was elected by the people. And with the very democratic procedure, there were thematic committees, so many committees, and it was taken the experiences of the previous committees and the previous Constituent Assembly also. And there were long discussions. Competitive multi-party system, periodic election, separation of power, independent judiciary, human right, and so many articles dedicated for the fundamental rights, from Article 16 to 48. So many articles are dedicated. One Article 47 is how to implement the fundamental rights, and 47 is for that, and 48, one article is about the duties of the citizens. All 31 articles from 16 to 46 are dedicated for fundamental rights of the people. Women's rights, children's rights, old age people rights, disabled rights, rights for education, rights for health, rights for so many things, speak, public, everything are fundamental rights. Perhaps you cannot get so many fundamental rights in the constitution of other countries. We have that much. And one thing, there should not be any kind of confusion that the problem which appeared during the constitution making process and after the declaration of the constitution, perhaps there are lackings or there are problems inside the constitution, so the dissatisfaction was the reflection of the lackings of the provisions of the constitution or articles of the constitution or the matters inside the constitution. That is not true. Constitution doesn't discriminate anybody. All the rights and opportunities to all people, all its citizens are equal. And more, to bring the backward section of society in the forefront, there are some special arrangements like reservations, 33% reservation in all levels to the women, 45% reservation for the backward sections and segments of society, etc. And also in the Parliament and upper house from the states, there are so many people, and the achievements which Nepalese people made are now institutionalized and got legality, constitutional right through the Constituent Assembly, elected Constitutional Assembly. That's the great achievement, and we have entered now in a new era. I spoke in so many places that the period of the era of Red Revolution is over. In Nepal, Red Revolution is not only related to, we may think, with this group or that group. Nepali Congress raised the weapons in 1951, and other times also. UNL raised weapons in 70, 71, 72, 73. Others raised in different times. I don't want to go on the question which was in which time and the relevancy of the violence or armed struggle or movements. I don't want to go on those things, but just I want to say that we have settled all those problems and we came a long way, and we have established a democratic, pluralistic, federalistic, republic, democratic state. Now we are in democratic, federal, democratic republic state. In some months, in some previous months, there were to some extent some problems, some misunderstandings between Nepal and India. Everybody knows that there were some misunderstandings. But I want to know, I want to tell you, and I think everybody knows that the misunderstanding is cleared, there is no blockade, there are no problems, and I am going to visit India from tomorrow to increase, to develop the relations between our two countries in a new height. I am going to India to revive our friendly relations, to bring the relations on the track, and to develop the relations for mutual benefit based on mutual respects. And I believe this visit will be a visit of success. I am confident. Now our internal situation is improved. Internal problems are about resolved. We have amended the Constitution. It was not so easy to amend the Constitution this very soon after the promulgation. Immediately after the promulgation, we amended the Constitution, and we are going to form a political committee. This morning there was cabinet meeting, but the talks are going on with the agitating parties, So even this afternoon, even now, there are the talks are whatever between us are, they are our internal matters. We can discuss, we can talk on those, and we can settle those problems by ourselves through talks. And there is no need of any type of agitation, bandh, etc. It is not necessary because the present government is people's government. Present government is elected by the parliament, and this government is committed to address the problem of the people. This government is, if we say in one word, in another word, this is like the symbol of the struggle of the people of Nepal. We have fought for many years for the political rights of freedom, democracy, and it was done for the people. So all the people should get equal rights and opportunities, equal security and respect. So the internal policy, the essence of the internal policy of the present government is people-centered. And external policy, the essence of the external policy of the present government is national interest-centered. Very simple. And I have always, so in so many occasions I mentioned that. Sovereignty, independence, national territorial integrity, national interest, and dignity. These 5 things we'll keep always in mind. Gear up our speed. The pace of our development in the past became very slow. It was always very slow. I am telling in so many places. Any country like Nepal, which is second largest hydropower country in the world after Brazil, and we started 105 years before. Hydropower projects. We started 105 years before. And at the evening time, this evening, how much electricity we can get? 230 megawatts about. 105 years. So I declare that within 1 year I will end the situation of load shedding. People were surprised, and it was not a stance. We have a habit of moving so smoothly. And in 105 years we produce at the rainy season about 600 or 700 megawatts, and at the dry season